What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week to give my DFS lineup for UFC Vegas 55, which is headlined by Holm versus Ketlen Vieira, live this Saturday at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Of course, this is episode 29 of DFS by Cage. We are sponsored by High Tide Herbal. If you don't know who High Tide Herbal is, check out this video right now.
Offering high-quality, sustainable products with all-natural, lab-tested ingredients, it's High Tide Herbal's mission to help others live the longest, healthiest, and most productive lives possible. Their hemp-derived CBD products have a wide variety of uses, from helping sore muscles to skin hydration and minimizing skin irritation. They generate results based on your specific needs. Elevate your lifestyle with the new wave of wellness. Visit hightideherbal.com to learn more.
Of course, this is, like I said before, DFS by Cage. It's on the Cage of My IQ network. As always, if you haven't done so already, please follow and subscribe to all of our channels on social media. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you can follow and subscribe to all those, we're also partnering with the Fighters First Network. So check out all those channels as well. But of course, this is on YouTube. If you could, for this episode, if you could smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section, let us know what you think of this lineup that I'm going to give you guys for UFC Vegas 55 for Draftkings, and then let us know who you're going to use and give us your opinions on all the fighters for this week. But other than that, let's start up with my lineup right now. Of course, we go from cheapest to most expensive. I'm going to give you my lineup and then give you the reasons why I'm going to use each fighter. The first fighter that I'm going to be going with is Ketlen Vieira, part of the main event. She is going to be 7,100 on DraftKings. The next person I'm going to go with is Euros Medic. He cost 7,800 on DraftKings salary. Next, I'm going to go with Michelle Ferreira. He's at 8,200 value. Next is Tabitha Ricci. I'm making her move back down to the strawweight division after doing one fight in the division up against Manon Vieira. She's costing 8,300. Next is one of my locks of the week. I got Chidi Jakani. He costs 8,700. And lastly, my last person is the most expensive person for the week. I got Jailton Almeida at 9,400. As you see right there, that's my lineup. I'm going to start with Ketlen Vieira. Of course, she's fighting in the main event against Holm. Finamino. Once again, she's 7,100. She's coming in 12-2, 67.1 FPPF. As you see right there, lately she's been hit or miss with her picks. She last time around she put it all together against Misha Tate, where she got the decision victory in that matchup, and then she beat her in the main event. Of course, in that she had over 113 significant strikes. She had 156 strikes total. She usually is a mixture of striking and takedowns / grappling, but she decided to go with the heavy striking output there because of the main event. Before that, she had fought Kunitskaya in a fight where she had 35 strikes, 3 takedowns. She had 10 minutes of control time, but she got the loss because she really didn't do anything on the ground, and Kunitskaya was just punching from the bottom majority of the time and was able to steal the victory from her. In the fight before that, she beat Sajara Eubanks by decision. She had 70 significant strikes, 2 takedowns, and then she lost by knockout to Aldana. She started to look good with the strikes, but then she got knocked out. And then she beat Kat Sagano before that by decision with 2 takedowns and over 100 strikes, majority ground and pound strikes. So she's going to come in there. And I feel like she's going to look like the fighter, a mixture of what she did against Misha Tate and Yana Kanitskaya, because she's going to have to be able to get inside of Holly Holm's leg kicks and strikes, because Holly Holm is more of a distance fighter where she uses that boxing, she goes in and out, and then she throws the leg kicks with that kickboxing background. I feel like she's going to be able to get inside, get physical with Holly Holm, and that's something that Holly Holm has struggled with at times, is the more power striking physical fighters like Justino Cyborg and Amanda Nunes. I'm not saying that Ketlen Vieira is on that level, but she can get inside, get physical with her, throw those power strikes at her, and then at times get the takedowns and do a little bit of ground and pound with her. She's going to have to be patient with it, but I could see her racking up a lot of strikes and win by decision, and then to just be optimal in lives just because of her price tag at 7,100. I'm taking the gamble here because, like I said, with the price tag, as long as she could get anywhere from 50 up, that's a big plus with her here. And I think she's going to get the victory, get close to 100 strikes total, which is a mixture of significant strikes and ground and pound, and then maybe 1 to 2 takedowns. And I feel like she's going to get at least 80 or 90. So the first person I'm going with is Ketlen Vieira. The second person I'm going with is Uros Medic. He's had 2 fights in the UFC, as you see right there. He cost 7,800. He's going up against Vince Morales. He is 7-1 with the FPPF at 62. He looked great in the first fight against Cruz. He had the first round knockout. He poured in a lot of significant strikes in that. He had the 45. He had the 1 knockdown. He had 2 minutes of control time, and then he finished him off, of course, with the first round finish. So he was optimal that week. He didn't look as good in the second fight against vastly improved Jailton Turner, but Jailton Turner comes into that fight. He is a taller fighter. He was getting those big time shots and speed on because of his quick boxing. He was hitting Medic before Medic could hit him, and then he stunned Medic and got him down with the submission. But against a guy like Vince Morales isn't going to be a quick striker like Medic in this fight. He's more the boxing stand-up striker, where he's going to throw a lot of the jab and overhand shots, and he's going to look to knock him out. But I think Medic is going to be able to come in there, throw those leg shots, just rush in there and connect on a lot of those combinations, and he's going to piece apart Morales. I see him getting the second round knockout on Morales. Morales has been susceptible to the big time shots, and as long as Medic can keep his head moving and not just stand stationary, he should have an easy victory here against Vince Morales. So I think he's going to be optimal in lineups, and at 7,800, I think he's the perfect complementary piece in lineups this week in Draftkings. The next person we're going with is Michel Ferreira. He's one half the co-main event. He comes in at $8,200 salary. He's fighting Santiago Ponzinibbio, 27-11. He's 71.2 FPPF. If you look right there, he lost 2 fights against Conley and Sanchez, where he did have a couple takedowns, control time, and striking, but he got edged by decision against Conley because Conley just did just enough to beat him. And then he had a DQ loss to Sanchez, in which he was winning that fight, but it went to DQ. So, of course, that didn't go out his way. But then he started the trend for this 4-fight win streak that he's on right now. He had a sub in the 3rd round against Imadaev, where he had 88 significant strikes and a takedown, and then he finished him late. And then he had the decision victories against William and Price, where he had a combination of significant strikes, ground and pound, and several takedowns. And then in his last fight against a red-hot Andre Vieira, who is coming in now 2 straight wins after the loss to Michel Ferreira. But against Vieira, Ferreira had 107 significant strikes. He had 1 takedown. He had a few ground and pound strikes, and then he had 2 minutes of control time. But in those 4 fights, he's ranged anywhere from 70 to 90 fantasy points. And against a guy like Ponzinibbio, he's going to be able to hit him. And this could either go 2 ways. I feel like I think Ferreira with his flashy capoeira style, where he can get those big time strikes or blows on Ponzinibbio, he can win by first round knockout, or this could be a war that goes all 3 rounds because Ponzinibbio can take a lot of damage. He stands up and trades. He has that boxing style where he takes punches just to pour punches out. And he's fought a lot of good competition here. But I feel like in this one, Ferreira's going to rack up a lot of volume, and he's going to get that inside the distance victory. Whether it's the first or second round, I'm not sure. But I feel like he's going to connect him with one of those wild strikes. He's going to knock down Ponzinibbio, and he's going to be a big-time point getter on DraftKings this week. I think he's going to have a combination of the strikes and then maybe 1, maybe 2 takedowns. But I'm going to go with 1, and I think he's going to do good on DraftKings this week. So I'm going with Michel Ferreira, 8,200. Next, I'm going with the Tabitha Ricci. She's making the move back down. Like I said before, her nickname is Baby Shark. She comes in $8,300 salary. She's fighting Polyana Viana, who is a submission artist with a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but that's her bread and butter there. She's more of a one-dimensional fighter against Ricci. Ricci comes in at 6-1, 53.4 FPPF. If you look at the 2 fights, she had the debut in the move up against Manon Vieira. It went 2 rounds. She got knocked out. She connected on 17 significant strikes, but the height and reach difference was vastly seen there with how big Manon Vieira was compared to Ricci. But Ricci battled for up until that knockout. Even though she didn't connect on that many punches, she was battling there. She was trying to clinch up. It's just that she couldn't combat that height and reach advantage that Manon Vieira had. But then she came back last fight. She fought Maria Oliveira and went to decision. But if you see right there, she had 5 takedowns. She has that judo background. So she had 5 takedowns, 7 minutes of control time, and 62 significant strikes mixed in with 30 plus ground and pound. She was very good with DraftKings that week. And against Polyana Viana, the only fear she's going to have is really the jiu-jitsu of Viana, because of her having chances to go for arm bars, dropping down the guard, looking for the triangle. But Tabitha Ricci is no slouch. She has a BJJ background. She trains with Andrade, Mackenzie Dern, and all of them. She also has the judo background, and she's been improving her striking the past 2 fights, where Polyana Viana really has no striking. I think she's going to come in there. She's going to be able to take down Viana several times. I don't think Viana is going to really challenge her with the takedowns. She's going to do some ground and pound work, and also she's going to look to stand up and throw with her. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say she gets a late finish here by ground and pound, 3rd round. I just think that Viana's going to be desperate, look for those armbar submissions like she's done in the 3-fight win streak that she's on. Because before that, when she didn't get that, she was losing 3 out of the 4 fights before that because she couldn't get the submission. And Ricci is the more diverse fighter, and I feel like she's going to be able to use that strength to keep Viana on the ground, keep her on her back, and she's going to finish her with ground and pound late. So I'm going with Tabitha Ricci, 8,300. Next person is my lock of the week. We got Chidi Jakani, aka Bang Bang. He's coming in 8,700. He's going up against Dusko Todorovic. In this matchup, he is 21-7. His FPPF is a whopping 129.9. And he, in his debut, he fought Marc-Andre Barrios, who's a veteran in the UFC. He knocked him out early with the first round KO. He had 11 strikes, then the one knockdown, and of course the 130 fantasy points. He's going to come in here and he's going to wreak havoc on Todorovic. Dusko tends to leave his head right there hanging over the center line. It's been a problem of his that even though he's won all but 2 of his fights, that in those 2 fights, it's been noticeable weakness for him. And against a Muay Thai artist with the jiu-jitsu background in Chidi's going to take advantage of him. He has those snapping leg kicks and those quick hands that he likes to throw those combinations on his opponent. And then he clinches up with his opponents in the Muay Thai clinch and throws those vicious knees and elbows to the face. And against Dusko, he's going to come in there, throw those leg kicks, and then throw those overhand strikes. And I see him getting the first round knockout on Dusko. Dusko has a good background, and he's looked good for the most part in the UFC. But Chidi has made a name of himself up until this point, and I think he's going to be a player. His only 3 losses in the past 10 plus fights are in Bellator against stars in the top 10 of the division, most notably John Salter and Khorshchev. So I see him getting that big time first round knockout. He's going to hit him with the combinations and put him down. And before long, we're going to see this guy in the top 10 of the division. So I'm going with Chidi Jakani, a first round knockout, and then his cost is 8,700. And he's going to be probably the most fantasy pointed guy this week in Draftkings. Lastly, we're going to go with Jailton Almeida. He comes in the most expensive guy on DraftKings, 9,400. Malhadinho, he's going up against Parker Porter. He's making the trek up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. So this is going to be a very interesting fight, since Parker Porter generally comes in 60 pounds heavier than him. But we have to see where Almeida weighs in on Friday to see truly what the weight difference is going to be. He comes in 15-2. He has a 118.4 FPPF, and that's based off of his debut fight against Danilo Marquez, in which he got the first round knockout. He had 30 significant strikes. He had 2 takedowns in that first round with almost 4 minutes of control time, and he got 118 points, of course. He has that big-time jiu-jitsu and judo background. This guy comes in there, looks for the takedowns. He has his judo throws that he does that are very successful, and he has high-level submission entry to his game, where he wins a lot of his fights by submissions, but of late he's done quite a few ground and pound victories. And against a guy bigger than him in Parker Porter, it's going to be interesting to see if he could get inside of Parker Porter and be able to take him down, or instead of trying to take him down, if he drops guard and looks for those triangle armbar entries. But I feel like he matches up greatly against Porter. Porter's more of a striker who usually just looks to fall on his opponents when he gets those takedowns because of his weight difference when he fights somebody. But I feel like Almeida is okay with going down whether he drops guard or gets taken down, because he can work his way into a better position when on his back. And I feel like his grappling is going to be way better than Porter. Porter's going to have this success on the feet, when standing, but I feel like Almeida is going to look to get the fight to the ground as soon as possible. I think he does. I think it's going to be a second or third round submission victory for him. It's going to take longer just because of the weight difference, but I feel like he's going to get a second or third round submission victory via armbar or triangle. And I think with that, 9,400 salary is going to be warranted this week because this guy is very vicious on the ground, and he's going to be worth the price tag this week. So at the most expensive price tag of 9,400, the last person we're going with is Jailton Almeida. Once again, let's summarize the sixth final lineup. We're going with Ketlen Vieira, 7,100. Euros Medic, 7,800. Michelle Ferreira, 8,200. Tabitha Ritchie, 8,300. Chidi Jakani, 8,700. And then Jailton Almeida, 9,400. Let's keep the hot roll ball going. Last week we did a decent job. We had a bunch of fighters get in the 80s and 90s price tags, and we did good. We didn't blow the roof off of the Draftkings, but we did good enough to get us into the money spots. We had some good low price tag people that we really benefited from, like Andre Petrosky. He was a big time bet, and then Jan Jehovic. Those two guys scored well on DraftKings for us, and they were the two least expensive fighters in the lineup. So let's hope that we get that luck again this week with this lineup. I feel very confident in this one. But you see this lineup. If you think somebody else is better, hit us up in the comment section. Let me know who you like better and who you would swap in and out. But other than that, that will wrap things up with today's episode of DFS by Cage 29. We will be back in 2 weeks for DFS by Cage 30. Next week, there's an off week because of Memorial Day, but we'll be back the week after for episode 30 for UFC Vegas 56, which is headlined by Zarginho Rosenstruck going up against Alexander Volkov. Heavyweight battle in the main event. But other than that, as always, please subscribe and follow us to us on social media right there. Of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already as well. And then smash the like button down below and give us a comment in the comment section of this video. But other than that, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks for tuning in to DFS by Cage episode 29. I'm your host, Cage, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.